There is a moment, just one, when everything changes. It's not a lightning bolt, it's not an earthquake, it's silent, it's subtle, and most of the time, you only realize it happened months later, looking back. That moment has a name. Some people call it synchronicity, others call it intuition, others simply call it luck. But I prefer to call it what it really is, a green light. And if you're watching this video right now, if something brought you here today, at this exact hour, at this exact moment in your life, I need to tell you something before we go any further. This is not a coincidence. Stay until the end because sign number 7 is going to give you chills, and so many people write to me saying it was the exact one that changed everything. Before we dive in, I need to ask you for something quick. If you feel like this channel speaks to your soul, if the words I bring here every week have already touched something inside you, hit the like button right now. This isn't just a number. It's you telling the universe, I am ready to listen. And if you're not subscribed yet, this is the moment. Because the messages that reach you aren't random, and I want to keep finding you, week after week, exactly when you need it most. Now, let's talk about the signs. I want to tell you about a woman named Clara. Clara spent 7 years at the same job, a job that paid the bills, but that every single day drained a piece of her. She dreamed of starting her own business. She dreamed of freedom. But fear, that old, heavy, familiar fear, always won. Until, on an ordinary Tuesday, 3 things happened on the same day. She received a message from a friend she hadn't seen in years, asking exactly about that project she had tucked away in a drawer. Hours later, the company called to announce layoffs in her department. Hers, coincidentally, was spared. But the fear of being next had never felt so real. And that night, without meaning to, she opened a video that talked about exactly taking the first step. Clara told me, sometime later, I didn't believe in signs until that day. Today, she has her own business, and every time she tells this story, she cries, not out of sadness, but because she knows that if she had ignored that day, she would still be stuck. I tell this story because maybe you're living your own ordinary Tuesday right now, and the universe, life, God, call it whatever you want, is trying to tell you something. The question is, are you paying attention? Let's get to the signs. Sign number 1. Old doors start closing on their own. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to fight to hold on. The things that no longer make sense for the next version of you simply start falling apart. A relationship cools down for no apparent reason. A job starts to feel too small for who you're becoming. A friendship drifts apart without fights, without drama, just silence. This is scary, because our instinct is to hold on, to fight to keep everything the way it was. But I need to tell you a truth few people have the courage to say. The universe never closes a door without already preparing the next one. The problem is that most of the time, we get so obsessed trying to reopen the old door that we don't even notice the new one, slightly ajar, right beside us. If something in your life is falling apart for no clear reason, it's not punishment. It's space being created. Sign number 2. You start seeing the same number, the same word, the same sign over and over. 1111 on the clock, the number 222 on the license plate in front of you. A word that shows up 3 times in the same day, in completely different contexts. Science will tell you this is just your brain paying more attention after it notices the pattern for the first time, a real phenomenon called confirmation bias. But I ask you, what if it's exactly the opposite? What if your brain is finally tuned in enough to notice what was always there? Repetition is not coincidence. Repetition is language. It's the universe trying to cut through the noise of your routine, your anxiety, your fear, to remind you of one single thing. Pay attention. If you've been seeing the same signs repeatedly over the last few weeks, write in the comments which number or word has been showing up for you. I really want to read them. And if this video already makes sense to you so far, hit the like button. Seriously, it helps the YouTube algorithm deliver this message to more people who also need to hear this today. You never know who's on the other side of the screen needing exactly these words. Moving on. Sign number 3. The right person, the right information, the right opportunity shows up without you looking for it. You didn't go after it. You didn't search for it. You didn't ask for it. And yet, there it was. the contact of someone who works in exactly the field you dream of entering. The ad for a course that answers the question you asked in silence, alone, in your bed 3 days ago. The person who sits next to you on a plane and, without meaning to, changes the direction of your week. This has a name, and I love this name: synchronicity. Psychiatrist Carl Jung described this as meaningful coincidences, events that have no cause and effect connection, but that carry such great significance that it would be naive to call them mere chance. When what you need starts showing up without effort, that's not luck. That's alignment. That's life confirming you're finally on the right path. Sign number 4. The fear is still there, but it no longer paralyzes you the way it used to. This is one of the most misunderstood signs there is. People think a green light means the absence of fear, that when life is approving of you, everything becomes easy, light, free of doubt. Wrong. A green light isn't the absence of fear. It's the presence of courage despite the fear. You'll keep feeling that knot in your stomach. You'll keep waking up at 3 in the morning with thoughts like, what if it goes wrong? But this time, the fear doesn't stop you. It rides along with you, but it no longer drives the car. If you notice that, even with fear, you're still taking the step, that is the most powerful sign of all. Because courage was never the absence of fear. It was always acting despite it. I received a message weeks ago from someone who has been watching this channel since the beginning. She told me that for 2 years she saw the same signs I talk about here and ignored every single one of them. I was afraid of fooling myself, she wrote. I was afraid of believing too much and getting hurt. And I deeply understand that fear. Because believing hurts when you've already been let down before. But she also told me what changed. She stopped waiting for absolute certainty before acting. She understood that signs aren't guarantees, they're invitations. And invitations, you have to accept before you know exactly what the party will be like. Today, she's living a completely different life from the one she had 2 years ago. And she told me a sentence I've never forgotten. The signs never stopped showing up. I was the one who stopped pretending not to see them. Hold on to that sentence. It might be exactly what you need to hear today. Sign number 5, you feel a strange peace even without having all the answers. This is counterintuitive, I know. Logic says you should only feel at peace once everything is resolved, planned, guaranteed. But signs don't work that way. Sometimes you'll feel a deep calm in the middle of chaos, a silent certainty that, even without knowing how, everything will fall into place. This isn't naivety. This is what many spiritual traditions call the knowing of the heart. A wisdom that doesn't come from the rational mind, but from an older, deeper place within you. When anxiety gives way, even if just for a moment, to a peace you can't explain, that's a green light. That's life telling you, trust, I've got this. If you've made it this far, I want to genuinely thank you, because that shows these words are resonating with you in a way you might not even have words for yet. Hit the like button now if you haven't already. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell, because every week I bring a new message, and I truly believe you are guided to this video for a reason. Let's move on to the next signs. These are going to surprise you even more. Sign number 6, the people around you start noticing a change in you, even before you notice it yourself. You seem different. Your eyes look different. You seem lighter. Have you heard any of these phrases recently? Because this isn't a coincidence. And it's not about new clothes or a haircut. When you start aligning with your purpose, even before taking any concrete first step, your energy shifts. Your posture changes. The way you speak, the way you look at the future, the way you breathe in the face of challenges, all of it changes. And people feel this before they can even explain what it is. If someone recently told you that you seem different, stronger, more present, don't ignore it. It's an outside mirror confirming a transformation that's already happening inside you, even if your mind hasn't caught up with it yet. And now, the sign I promised at the beginning, sign number 7. Sign number 7, you stop asking for permission. Let me explain what this really means. For most of our lives, we wait for approval, from family, from friends, from society. We wait for someone to say, "Go ahead, it's fine, you won't get hurt." We wait for a guarantee that, in truth, never existed for anyone who ever achieved something great. And the deepest, quietest, most powerful sign of all is the moment you realize you no longer need that permission. It's not rebellion, it's not impulsiveness, it's spiritual maturity. It's the moment you understand that no one is going to hand you a perfect map. No one is going to guarantee it won't hurt, that it won't go wrong, that everyone will understand your choice. And yet, you decide to move forward anyway. That is the true moment of the green light. It's not an external sign, it's an internal decision. All the other signs I told you about here, the doors closing, the repeating numbers, the right people showing up, the fear that no longer paralyzes you, the peace without explanation, the people noticing your change, all of them are just the universe making room. But the one who walks through the door is you. No one is going to walk through it for you. No one is going to give you absolute certainty before you take the step. Certainty comes after. Always after. If you're feeling right now as you listen to this, a tightness in your chest, a knot in your stomach, an urge to cry without quite knowing why, I need to tell you, that's not chance. That's recognition. A part of you, deep down, already knows exactly what I'm talking about. I want you to do one thing before you go on to watch anything else today. Pause for a second, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what have I been avoiding doing even though deep down, I know it's already time? You don't need to answer out loud, you don't need to be certain, you just need to be honest. Because sometimes the green light has already been on for months, or even years, and we're the ones still standing at the intersection waiting for a stronger sign, when really all we needed was the courage to press the gas. If this video touched something real inside you, I have one request. Hit the like button. Not for the algorithm, even though it really does help, but because it's a way of saying, I received this message and it arrived at the right time. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell because I bring a new video every week, and I genuinely believe there are so many people who need to hear these words but don't know this channel exists yet. Maybe it's you who's going to share this video with the right person today. And in the comments, I want to know, which of these 7 signs touched you the most? Which one did you recognize in your own life just now? Write it down below. I read every comment, and sometimes your story can become exactly the next video that helps someone else. Before you go, I want to leave you with one last thing. Signs don't exist to give you absolute certainty. They exist to give you enough courage for the next step, just the next one, not the whole path. You don't need to see the entire staircase. You just need to trust the next step. And if you made it this far, to the end of this video, without skipping, without leaving in the middle, I truly believe that this too is a sign. The light is green. The question that remains is, are you going to cross? See you in the next video. Until then.